following presentation is a recording of the Yorkshire Gas Association Innovation Event which took place at the Holiday Inn at Wakefield on Thursday, 12th of January 2023.
On to Bohr. We've got Tony Wimpenny here. I'm not really going to tell you much about this. I'm not saying we've got an expert here, and that's what he's here for. He's been in and around the industry for 10 years. He's part of ITM, sits on some kind of committee now. He'll tell us more about that. He has input onto the standards and everything like that. He's going to tell us about this hydrogen and everything like that. So, on to you. You'll introduce it now.
I won't tell you much about this, that's the least interesting part about this. In my presentation, I'm going to have no idea as interesting as slides. I'll try and make it interesting. So, part of what we're trying to do is address some of the industry challenges from a technical point where measurement and control systems that help unlock those challenges. So, one of them is helping industry adapt to gas quality variations. So even today, natural gas is natural, it varies in quality, and so that's when we're using our cooking at homes and will affect us. But if you've got a high precision combustion process, if, for example, you're making high precision glass products or flame temperature or flame shape, that actually affect the product quality. You get fluctuations in gas quality that actually affect the quality of the product. So it's really important for certain users to understand the gas quality. Furthermore, and more importantly, in lots of businesses, is the gas quality and carbon value of heating value that you build. And so that's what that comes on to into the gas evolution that's more domestic and more green challenge is how to understand what is gas being delivered to use the gas, not building things. System works today. I'm sure you all remember, and the on the back, you get on the front, get your bill, and it's on the back, it says this bill is calculated on the calorific value 38.1 megajoule. And that number is produced from an average of some measurement points taken from around the gas network, and we used to kind of create billing zones where the whole region and also the postcodes will be assigned a calorific value of gas is being delivered there. Now, of course, within that region, you're getting slightly higher, slightly lower quality gas. But that's the measures we do at the time in order to assign every calorific value by which to multiply the volume of gas you consume through the year. Anyway, it's fantastic money, it's very important and sensitive to the industry, but when it comes to introducing renewable gases like biomethane and hydrogen, that's going to have a significant impact and is currently a barrier to those gases going into the gas network and ultimately. Piece of technology that we're developing to help tackle this is a low-cost gas quality analyzer that can be deployed in hundreds or thousands across the gas network to give much greater detail about the real gas quality in the gas line being delivered to domestic users and industrial users. So, as I say, at the moment we have a few, we have around 20 so measurement points to cover the whole of the UK. As far as a done view of what gas quality is going to individual properties. But one reason for that is the gas quality measurement we use today is extremely expensive, complicated, expensive to maintain, needs specialists to all the work. Keeping them is not an option, it needs to be analytical case sometimes to get those things to sing. And what we're developing is a low cost, simple instrument that can be deployed in large numbers across the network, but the same with less than those few hundred measurement points. What that will allow you to do is create much smaller, much more accurate billing zones, so you're much more likely to get the gas quality that's written or displayed on your gas bill. And one of the other features about this technology we're developing is a zero emission analyzer technology. So conventional gas analysis equipment takes a sample of gas from the pipeline, reduces the pressure, filters it, delivers it to your analyzer somewhere away, which takes a couple of minutes, The analyzer then takes the gas, it separates all the components from the solid, counts up how many hours of each of those different components, and then on that information calculates your caloric value of that gas sample. So, a message. And that process, I mean, easy to describe it, so that then it's a bit complex and a lot of proving you over on a long journey. The way this technology works is it has these chips, these, I don't know why we have to call it this interdigitated capacitive chips, and here that's a main focus for presentations. What they do is they measure capacitance across the surface of this chip, and we've developed special coatings that sit on the surface of the chip and selectively absorb different compounds from the gas mixture. So one of the coatings developed to selectively absorb methane, one of the CO2, one of the hydrogen. And as the coatings absorb their molecules of interest, it changes the capacitance on that chip. And that changing capacitance can correlate to a partial pressure of that compound of interest. So we're developing coatings, within compound of the gas mixture, which is a complete picture and deliver out gas quality information within seconds. And as I mentioned, it's zero emission, which is going to be very important. It's not written into any standards now, but it should be. And today, the 120, 140 so measuring points, thousands of gas analyzers on gas network in the industry. It's taking the sample and analysing it, after it finished analysing it, it goes to atmosphere. If you imagine there are hundreds, if not thousands of measuring points all around the UK where we have putting then natural gas going straight into the atmosphere. Later on, all renewable gases decarbonising the grid, giving gas a good name, and in the energy mix, so which one will do that? That's a little bit a more graphical display of what I described about the molecules of interest sticking to the chip and to its capacitors. We have done some early trials of this technology. We actually was data studying from University, which was the site of the Holroyd-Doveton project, where they bring 20% of hydrogen into the gas supply feeding the university campus. And there was a gas chromatograph there responsibly to install equipment in the hydrogen blending compound and measuring gas quality. And we installed a couple of our sensors, actually 3 sensors installed in the boiler house of a few hundred metres downstream. That was continuously monitoring the blend stream feeding the boiler house. Actually, in the boiler house, it's quite interesting. It has 8 boilers lined up as part of an experiment. So 4 different boiler manufacturers, you probably guess them, provided 2 identical boilers. One was fed with a natural gas feed, and one was fed with a blended natural gas and hydrogen feed. We're told which one was which, and at the end of the trial, after 18 months or so, they're given the boilers back and asked to say which one we disposed to the blended gases happen to give them nice and corrode the relation performance. Anyway, the point I was going to make is the sensors that we have installed closely tracks the data given by a gas chromatograph, which means there's a couple of points really of interest. First of all, the 3 sensors we installed, you already saying each other. Hooray, that's a good start. But yeah, also they match the gas chromatograph data, and that's an industry recognised instrument providing this accurate information, which what these used for calculating the probability today. So it's really good confidence with this sensor technology with these interdisciplinary capacitor chips, and their coatings is actually a reliable method for at the moment we're working on plans we're doing are to improve the accuracy, reliability, repeatability, all the early scientific things which are a small incremental improvement, really important qualification of the instrument, especially so yeah, we're looking at using this for billing, also for industrial use. We can use it as a standalone instrument, but actually by shrinking down all of the analysis onto just these chips, that actually opens up opportunity to do a lot more. And we see out on the table, we've actually got a domestic gas meter, and what we've done, it's not a real system, but we've shown the concept that we can actually install the chips on the inlet part to your gas meter. So at a property level, you could have the gas quality as well as the volume data, so you could build the flat with the energy moving for the consumer. And also installing some other pieces of equipment, we could install it inside a control panel, for example, or some different types of equipment that might be affected by the introduction of hydrogen, for example, or by gas quality fluctuations. So it allows us to integrate into existing equipment as well as having standard. So we have the subsequent trial of the Wimpenny in the northeast. So we actually used solar panels to power it because it was on a grassy verge on the road junction. There was no power going to it, so we used solar power to power the arm analyzer, but also another analyzer we used as part of the trials, providing gas quality monitoring and to compare results. It's a bit of the solar panels get nicked actually, like we were a bit worried that was going to be a bit of a risk to the program, get through the side of the way, but they survived the check. And in doing so, what we demonstrated is that I believe the world's first solar-powered hydrogen natural gas zero emission analyzer. I was a bit on LinkedIn and nobody complained, so yeah. What we're looking to do to move this forward, the next step is that maybe it has a conventional cable to supply power and receive communications, but what we're going to do to move this technology forward and make it even more deployable with large numbers across the gas network is to make it battery powered and have wireless communication, so to provide data points to for local data collection point to validate that data and carry it as part of the new billing system or campaigns that plan to allow the user of gas to adjust their energy ratios or feel like plans to in their end. This is the image of the kids that are there. So this image here, this is what's been called a smart meter. What that actually means is a digital version of the thermometer. It's still just providing volumetric information. It doesn't know what the quality of gas is this time. It's just receiving the volume of gas and telling the volume of gas. And what we're trying to do is introduce the concept of a really smart meter that actually knows what gas is getting as well as how much it's getting. And as I say, the concept is that we can actually set much lower numbers, even if it's not at individual pops level, we have at least one which streets and get a much better and more detailed view of what gas quality is being delivered to the homes and businesses in that area. Actually, we've made applications based off their industrial cruise program to do some of this work for industrial use of gas within a region. So we're going to use some mobile gas quality analysis technology we've got, it's also out on the table out there, to go around and take samples of gas, collect some measurements for a few minutes at a time from hundreds of different points across the network, to get a view of what is the gas quality over a period of time. Is it stable as we always believe, or is it fluctuating, and by how much, and how much is that different to what we reported on gas bills? So these batteries that burn gas 24/7, they just receive gas they receive, and they just have to try and deal with it. And in some cases it can cause, in worst cases we've got CHP or something that are sensitive to swings in gas quality. They can trip out. As I mentioned, with the last battery plant, quality issues. So we're going to look to see what the scale of gas quality variations are in different areas around the parts of the network. And then we need to use that new analyzer technology to those installations to continuously monitor those gas quality variations. Feed that information to using gas so they can prepare for it, they can use a big control system, just their burners, boilers, etc. to try and, in the present time, that will allow reduction in fuels, reduction in emissions, reduction to improve their product quality or reduce wastage, let's say. So even today, I still offer the benefit, which, we've done some experiments with the glass manufacturing facility as an example, and it would save up to 5 to 7% by fuel. And that's a huge amount, and that's today. And as you look to the future, we start to introduce more methane gas, which is a plan, and we start to blend hydrogen in, which may or may not be a plan by this year. Those issues are going to get worse, and the benefits are only going to be more valuable. And this technology is also not only safer fuel to emissions today, but it also future-proof and further gas quality variations in respect as those new gases are introduced. Well, heavy about new gases, what I mean by we take waste and we do something with it, which is great. And I always talk about, as everybody remembers the film Back to the Future, where Doc Brown runs back to the future, he goes into the market garage driveway, starts throwing banana skins and beer and things into the machine, taking organic matter to an energy that uses to drive the car. That's what biomethane digester is. It's fantastic. Chuck anything in there, to a farm a huge pile of pumpkins because it was the season. And it's like, yeah, let's chuck that in, just ask some, maybe there's some slurry, let's fix it. It just turns out biomethane. It's fantastic. But one of the issues with our billing system is for the producers of biomethane, they want to then put that into the gas grid, and to add possible propane into their renewable gas before it goes to the grid, so to match the quality of gas to the That's to me, it's a little bit bonkers because we've learned to sustainable fuel, and that's great. Then having a fossil fuel to it, and that's a code game sort of strategy. But the reason I mention that is by having a better view of where the gas is going, being able to track it, being able to assign gas quality to users, you will be able to introduce biomethane directly into the grid without the propagation. And those that receive low quality gas will receive richer gas, biomethane. We've been to everyone goes with. So in that way, we can actually move away from propagation of that, and also we can open up to the that's about it. Thank you. Any questions?
Got a question? Fantastic concept. But how did the idea come from? It come from a customer driven? Is there somebody saying, oh, there's a hole in the market that needs something? You know, where is the analyzers that have this, ultimate fixing this? And the system as far as the quality of gas. So it's all got to go to think, the suppliers that's building the roof anyway.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess the need code was a consultation 5 or 6 years ago now. DNV sort of did a consultation for Ofgem to look at how they can update the billing system to make it more flexible for dealing with the greater gas quality variations. Because even from where we were, it was all multi-gas at one point, then it started bringing energy, and now it started introducing 5 units. It's a growing problem. We did a consultation, say, what do we need to do? Can we develop or look at columns, gas quality variations better, or is there a way of improving our measurements? And so they looked around for measurement technology, how many points they need to make a tangible difference. And they come up with different scenarios where I think they have on the latest is they have a new improved billing model with 200 to 1,000 additional measurement points. Or you can have 10,000 additional measurement points, and better still, or you can have 44,000 different measurement points coming down to the government station level. But then they're like, well, actually, maybe think about the costs and the carbon emissions of having those measurements. By the numbers, this is one before makes sense with the current technology. And so there's a sort of, I have nothing else to say, if we come up with a lower cost, emission analyzer technology, that would give us a better carbon saving and better adaptability to changing gas quality. But there was nothing there at the time. So that was the kind of market driver. And then the core sensing technology itself was developed by a research organisation coming from research organisation in the Netherlands. And they do all kinds of work, all kinds of different industries. And they just found this method of making gas stick to a coating, change the capacity to the chip. Now, oh, that's nice. Okay, well, we've done that now, we'll work for something else. And so we were like, oh, maybe we can use that to solve a challenge in the gas industry. So we sort of took that technology on to develop it into that analyzer. So the market need, I guess, came from Ofgem and DNV, and then the sort of technology story side came from the research organisation in the Netherlands. I guess bringing the two together to look at something new. And looking at the cost, when we did that model about how we operate the billing system, something that needs to happen one way or another at some point, with the costs for different options were kind of very low, even for the model, which is like, well, it needs to do something. Even that is going to cost, billions. So why do we really need to look around? And this sort of makes that measurement option, now more affordable than the modelling option. And it was at the time when we studied it, so there was already measuring technology to low cost and low emission after at least 10, 12 years. And so we're like, well, hang on a minute, we don't need to do a huge amount with this technology where it is to actually within a couple of years we can solve this challenge. So we've still got probably a year or two to go before we've got an instrument like you say, like how do you want. And we're still sort of tweaking the technology, we're still trying to make it fit for purpose, ATEX certified, qualified from a measurement and maturity point of view. But yeah, we'll share where we are on the journey, what we can do with it. I mean, we get this funding phase part of this industrial revolution, which now allows us to accelerate what we're trying to achieve.
The chips last.
Oh, the chips last. Good question. Did it get contaminated? That's the next question.
Yeah.
So the answer is going to be exposed directly to the flow of gas, well, actually a mechanical shroud rather. And the short answer is we don't know. And we're on trial at Holroyd for at least a year, I think. And we're still forming, checking the validation licensing. And so we're still forming after 12 months of no deviation there. One of the opportunities we have is, because the chips I showed you, there, 4 chips on the picture, each one is 4 chips for the accumulate, and 4 different squares on it. We can actually measure multiple components on a single chip. On what allows us to do is we can actually have a couple of different chips that measure one thing. That allows us to have a bit of a cross check and see if we're being fouled up, sort of, if there's just a suspect reading again. So that gives a bit of notification. Additionally, because it's all electronics and small scale stuff, you can actually keep that for a small bit of power, and that helps release contamination and sticking to the surface. It's being swept by fresh gas at the time, so it helps to dissolve and stuff to the surface. Yeah.
Pretty much. Get it like other safe stealings should help save the whole checking the ones that you my biggest problem is what we get in the class. Stealing.
Oh yeah, that's 24/7, yeah.
Almost done. Something like that. Say that.
Yeah,
I still get colours value down to what they actually mean.
Yeah, because in industry they have they set their sort of air fuel mix to give them an excess air.
Same diesel in cars, we've got what's a bit of diesel in the car we need. Does it work on liquid fuel?
No, it's a short answer. It hasn't worked with liquid fuels, it's spoons on the gases on some different products. It's sort of gas industry first. But the other thing is, just to touch on the lifetime question, is when we reach this the battery and wires option that I described, what we're looking to do with electronics is to make it, because it's on pieces of it's printed circuit boards, you could produce these in one run. So you would coat them to proprietary and special. So we could produce these cheaply. We could make a case of rather than doing manual validation, calibration, etc., or does it need to be in the maintenance? You can just go in there and just take out, stick a new one in, it's just been run to its back, give it a clean recalibration and send it out and keep it on rotation like that. That's something we're still exploring to us until we see gas in place.
Do you know to know the England?
Yes. Yeah. So we took the technology and we brought it over here and we're going to make it in the UK.
So a short presentation from, well, I don't think we need much introduction to be honest. Most people know ARH.
Two sorts of
many innovations and techniques and different things that we use in the industry already. I'm inviting James Elliott that'll take it away and explain more in detail what the problem is this time.
So I always don't do my presentation, but I don't have any mind since me. James, it's no big. I think those slides for the next slide, which who knows NH. Last time I presented here, most people actually knew all the 90s. So I'm not going to go through that. On the exception, just remember things like the flow stocking things, that's what we display. So about is a new innovation that we've been working on. Unfortunately, I have to keep plugging Mark's in throughout this. It's a joint project, and something that's taken a lot of our time. So I'm going to whip through the background here. What's the problem? Faulty, leaking ECB, panels get plugged up, big services, it needs to be stopped off. There's a couple of different options themselves for Tech. You can internally, you can do it externally. PE, steel, no problem whatsoever. We've been doing this for years. Single operative working, gas free. You don't have to excavate. Been doing it 30 years. So, I don't know what he's talking about. Big pressure leaks. If you can do low pressure, one we can sort of look medium pressure. But the same issue with CVs, they seize, they buy, they leak. We're also now finding in some areas, leak spots that are leaking. That's causing a huge problem. Anyway, currently to do that, get down, the Vac-Ex, push off the pipe. It's the only way to do it at the moment. Or there is another way. You can get test flow valve, that's in the service. Finally, very quickly, put the ECB on, and hope to God that that excess flow valve is going to work. And we've met several engineers who will say, stop that, became soldiers, and they'd rather dig the hole. Obviously, as we all know, causes of disruption, causes of patient problems, cost, blah, blah. Just doing it in the garden is around €400-ish, we've been told. So you imagine this like going to people's driveways, etc., the costs start to go up. Gas Networks Ireland's approach to the problem is simple. They go one step further than us. They've got a 4-bar network. They've got an awful lot of meter boxes, as you can see there, and they're on private driveways in gardens, etc. They're estimated circa 350 meter box adapters in addition to these ECBs and then leakers, and then take things and then put the program to go exchange them. There's currently no way of carrying out the exchanges other than dig down. So it's going to time costs, etc. So this is a huge problem for Gas Networks Ireland. But also doesn't help them is that when these big spots leakers are found, there's no one issue, so let's say it's all coastal or not. It's all over the whole of Ireland, in the middle, on the coast, all down, so everywhere. Those obviously just a scattergun. Another problem is that their network is made up of two different sorts of services. They eat 25 and 32 mil, given the unusual there. They've got lots of copper services. So again, we've got issues. This is where the challenge came in. They wanted two solutions. They wanted a mechanical solution. And they wanted a bag. Okay? So, as they said, well, we're going to plan 2 projects here. Something that we think should be relatively easy for you guys to resolve. This started off just before COVID, and here we are now. Syntec have already had designs of a mechanical solution. They've advanced it a bit further, and here that we do is 2 examples of it working. However, creating a bag was troublesome. New vertical new thinking. So, as we all know, AIH and our sister company Flowstock for over 30 years worth of experience with flowstocking gas took we've done for years. Not a problem, said Mark. However, the problem, remember the problem, we're stopping on 4 bar. That's a problem. Let's find the right material to seal it and hold firm inside the PE and the copper. And do one and maybe not the other. It's going to have the capability to hold off for periods of time. I want to hold that for. Strange to explain a job that he did not so long ago. And when you look at the pictures, when you know that this is nearly 2 bar, you think, holy shit. It has to be quick, simple, easy to use. And there's the thing from only one bag to do all 4 opportunities. Any one there. And just chuck the one in, no time to choose, so we might it's really useful. So first, what's the challenge? First challenge is to understand limitations, 4 bar RCBs, wildly different. You're going to fully open Bohr one, just on the way out there. Then you've got a more popular one, shall we say. It's only 14mm in diameter. But again, we're going to have a challenge now. We're going to get something through, something pretty small. Length of the tether. We're going to put a tether on the end of the bag. What does that matter? When we get it past the lead box adapter, what's going to make it strong enough to shove it in? You also want to do the confines of the lead box. But again, you've got a vacuum going through it. Each challenge still remains. This is 4 bar in the back, so I'm not trying to hold back the bag. Just Google it. There's absolute football out there. So, looked at it, we realised what we needed was a tripologist. And Mark is not allowed to answer the question, but does anybody know what a tripologist is? Didn't think he was. Magician, really. Because we didn't know what a tripologist was either. I'm not going to try and explain it. It's that. Tripology is the science and engineering of interacting surfaces in relative motion. It includes the study of application of principles of friction and lubrication where tripology is highly interdisciplinary, drawing on many academic fields, including physics, chemistry, material science, mathematics, topology, and engineering, who work there are called tripologists. Oh, there you go. We found tripologists. You said. Well, actually, this is going to be as difficult. The who was like, of the who. And as it was, we started working through the project, and it worked straight. They had a prototype. No. The PM copper, yeah, that's fine. Well, he said, no problem, interesting. Nitrile, certain type of nitrile rubber, or we can use nitrile tip-offs. Get the inflation right, wasn't easy, but the internal design lays down what we can do with things like this. Not like the trains, balloon, it inflates across the book. It's relatively equal. That's quite key, so we start to grip the inside of the pipeline very quickly. They get the tether right and the strength for some issues, but again, we've got there. However, I can really say this over and over. Full high pressure, the bags continue to fail. The problem that we're still finding is that the full bar, in a 25 or 32, it tries to push banks clean out. What was actually happening was, back is being pushed over that, it's failing. Rupturing the bank far too many times, certainly enough to usually take that to the end. There's 2 of us in the room here. Okay. So you know, we work at great because in new trade. In new trade are a British family-owned business. There are 360 companies globally. Training, Frankfurt, Thailand, typically Swedish, like Scandinavian, Europe, the Americas. Over 7,000 employees. Employed for their skills, their knowledge, their technologies, and we're just saying, well, let's go and give into their techniques and technologies. So we've got this huge global resource that we could go to. Go into Redditch. And they also got me as well, like that, so I can understand them. So the issue with the full bar pressure was pushing the rubber backwards. And it caused it to fracture, as I said, so we needed something like an Irish blade, something that's going to hold the bag. what he got for us was petals. You got the example? There you go. That's a petal. What this petal has actually come from is the aerospace injury. Industry. No, that really did. That was a proper injury. Imagine you're a big theatre plane or something akin to that, and you're out to sea, and you see your boat that you're going to go and land on, and big balloon thing, the umbrella thing, things like that. And to how to stop that umbrella stop coming off, it's something like that. This is actually coming from the aerospace injury. I'm going for one of them next. So, yes, but this actually came from that particular industry. So, James can explain in a minute what's actually happened with it and how it all works. But effectively, what this is going to do, as you can see here, it sits here. What this does is it protects the bag, protects the crew. So if you put them on, you'll not see the failure. This is where the technology really starts. Something that looks really, really simple, but it's absolutely unique in itself. It's currently going through its patenting. It's that unique when we went through the patenting, they actually can fast track it because there's absolutely zero has come back as anything resembles anything like this. Something that is so simple. How does it work? On the hand over.
Yeah, that's the one. Terrible. Okay, you've got some visual in it. So, as I was saying, we started off with various much bags of each shapes. You can imagine the trial process. We eventually settled on was a normal bag, too big, surface area, and strength. The pedal at the top and on the bottom, which doesn't make sense. It's kind of early on, the pressure's coming up through, obviously, the surface. We literally, on this end, you can imagine the pressure was keeping it in a nice stable position. But as you get into the top, back on to go, carry on, which was the other flap in the nerve part and pocket. As well as elongated itself, it wasn't expanding fully, so it won't stop the gas and so forth. Can't see how it goes. So what you do, which is one very expands. Now, it does expand fully, and the end of the pedal do touch side inside of the surface of the rod. They don't rip it, they don't pierce it, they're not like anchors on it. They simply push against it and stop. Literally rubber with the bag getting past it, because we keep it just tight on the shape. Which obviously allows the pressure inside the bag to stay where it should be rather than swap that way. They're wrong. So we obviously got working in ANH and HQ, we went for the trial and all applied, so then obviously the only trial we really can trust is to go on site and actually move it. So the first thing we got was obviously, we always say that, Holroyd-Doveton, GTC, and there was so houses, straightforward ECB exchanges with the guys there. It was perfect for us. It was a lot of easy access and actually what we need to do. So you can see here, it allowed us to sort of go over how long they needed to be. We can measure where the bag would be. We can measure how long the tether is within the surgeon head. We can go over the ratings and get all that correct. We also confirmed the angle, so if you actually look at it, we'll see it later if you want to come and have a look. There was an angle on the actual surgeon head. So we confirmed that was the right angle to allow us to get out of the box. We also have to check, you can tighten a bit up, get your hands around and so forth. So that was a good day. We went through 11 ECVs, good exchanges. The guys on site got to the point where they could see how quick they can actually go through them and try to beat each other. And that confirmed how simple we made it. We didn't want to do complicated. One of these guys to use it. Because you all know, if you make it too complicated, they just don't use it. You know? So it has to be easy and and the guys, at the end of the day, we can find with them, would you actually use this? You know, is this going to be something you want to just pay it to, just to keep them around naturally, just give you everything? And luckily the guys on site, when we met some of them from GTC, they were brutally honest. They told us exactly what they thought, and in this instance it was positive. So that was a good day. And it was raining, so that was good. We moved on to a little while later, John Patworth. Now this was a bit different. So this was actually given to us from an independent heating engineer. And he got a job from a lady who was a bit paranoid about gas, didn't like it. A bit odd to say the least, I don't want to go too into that. And she didn't trust the existing setup. She didn't trust anything. Pipe work, she wanted it all done, brand new, start to finish, by this certain heating engineer. So he replaced every inch of pipe work, every joint, box needs to possibly have a sealer behind the box. Very strange. So, of course, here, the bag was being used for, because we at the time, 6 minutes.
You started it, you know, after the.
Yes,
I wanted to know is this fastest time, 6 minutes.
6 minutes they managed to insert it, change the ECV, get it all back together, and do the whole job in 6 minutes. Obviously, this one, it was everything but wrong. So this is a good test of how long the bag will probably sit in there and hold back the pressure. And start to finish, right? Well, work very quickly, in about 2.5 hours. So strip down all the pipe work, disconnect everything, box out, seal at the bottom. If you're really interested, I do have the photos and the whole job of my photos, you're really interested. And I'll show you them. But it goes quick. About 2.5 hours, all in, perfect. You want to see it, and it's just work. One of those bodies, just work. We went on to Ireland. So I've got a beautiful hand model, if you can recognise the hand. And this was its test for Bohr. This was intended further. So we went to Dublin, went to GA9. This was actually at the headquarters. Yeah, and our beautiful assistant put it in. Good job, perfect. We also used synthetic mechanical version. So the Mary Charles, so going on, so this is after the job. This was actually on the rear rooms were there. So you can see afterwards the pedals, the bag, we go to the bag, deflated it, taken it out of the job, and that's what we're left with. So they do decompress with the bag, but they don't walk away. Or you can manipulate it down flush. And as you can see there, we do have there's a tool, it's in the toolbox at the back, and it's just got a simple hole in it. And before and after you push it through the hole, and as it fits.
Oh, you're in that scope all the way out.
That's it.
Yeah, I used to different off a little bit.
So it's, no, obviously put a jump in on that. So the way this has been designed, and it flex out, you can put it in easily, you know, it's on back, if you tip them up, then they won't come back down. So remember what we said at the Spurs way, the ideal was to use this a few times. So what we found is they're inherently relatively strong anyway, but you can put it back out, so you can put it back out, but you don't want it to be strong enough that they stick back out and don't go back in. So if they stick out, you won't be getting back through the ECV. But the other thing is that what this actually also does is, once you've got that, if you then go through that again, you know that it's gone past the shield point, and it won't collapse back down. What we found is
strip around it, look at
I'm sorry,
got a magnetic strip around it.
we don't want it to. What we want the strength to be enough to be able to open up and to be reused. But every time it opens, it's getting weaker. Opens, gets weaker. But what we're finding is If you're on the 4-bar, you're probably only use it once, because they really open up. The 2-bar, we're seeing 2, 3, 4 uses maybe, but we're recommending 3. Say 100 at the bar, 10 uses. You don't want to be pushing it. Problem is, we say to a guy, use that 3 times on the 4-bar, and that's getting down weaker and weaker every time it opens to go wrong. But it's flying out 4-bar. So that's the end.
Well, of course, it's whiz past my ear.
Correct.
2-bar.
So that's why it's been developed the way it has. And as you can clearly see, that's been opened up at 2-bar, but you can see just how much it was already opened up. You don't want to push on the 2-bar. You've got to imagine putting anything on with the base, this unit itself, suddenly a 4-bar.
Yeah, you got cheap, but we put a lot of pressure on it. You know it's 2-bar fight, benefit that. Better problem for you. Heat pump or any oil. Pressure got plastic flex, it's very bad, get that down. But the end problem is can.
Just pushing these in at 2-bar line. That's why we're changing
So
so
getting to
we're very soon.
so. Okay.
So it is really, really difficult. We're going to sort of go for one final test. This is the most painful bit now, isn't it? Getting the bloody approval. We've all been there before, we're all suppliers. It's going to go for an independent test. They're just going to confirm on them. However, we have already got backwards waiting. Gas network silently ready, Calagas, GCC. As soon as we get the approval, the independent approval, and then G&I approve it, we've already got ready to just go. There's a data folder already being prepared. Cadent, Northern, Scotia, Wales, and West Devon already, they're all aware of this. Everybody's going to be closed. I think it's been a really painful last 3 months. It's a 2 you never know. And we've got exactly.
It's working in
We did have a nice evening scheduled while we were. We did have a nice evening. So, we was going to demo it here, but we didn't know what it was going to work. Got that up in the dark. So, if you want to have a proper demo of it, let's just see in action. We're just over there buying things. So, that's what we're on this list. Any questions? Any questions?
One of the questions we try is about passive things. You should give the integrated versions that are in the south or something.
Please, actually having those routes all the way down are makeless. Give us 2 battery liquids. Yeah, it was. That was actually one of our first laws. But ultimately, as James said, the biggest problem was, as a question 16 here, the difference was every feedback.
We tried all sorts of different things, and the biggest challenge all the way throughout, even just the length of this, was we needed to grip both copper and the CD. If you think how smooth the that is, it's like absolutely all sorts. Jones like, you may well have done what I don't know, I suppose it's right, or that's very good to me. So we've done one in Italy, and we went, that's what was really early ground. That one. We pushed that quite far away down and started to go round and then south. So we can do, because of the flexibility, so we can do it. We tried it on a copper bend, and that was a nice, lovely, big sweat bend. And that was fine, how that's no performance. The other thing, and the bizarre thing that we actually tried with it is, once the Bedford expanded, we can't do that. How that thing works. If you do a couple of things, you know, the following that. But, well, yeah, we don't do it. So, imagine if what that's there, we effectively, you effectively just work it so this has been worked out, once you put it through, and you get the bit of that solid like sure. So as long as you've got like that that's sticking out, that'll be absolutely down to the original value, so like that.
Yeah, here's a little bit of background regarding the utility strikes. This is a study done by Bedford University. What insulated some debt in the property finished state. Also, the company in this slide, 1.5 million was for the UK every year. About 60,000 of them in some sort of strike, just in the UK per year. Average to get in the home and repair the damage, to about £4,000. what people don't realise is a lot of that cost associated with that and not damage. Because this was fees, you've got downtime, you've got rundown process, you've got inspections, you've got students' claims, goes on and on and on. Therefore, the rules. Birmingham University put a figure behind what this costs per strike, what the indirect costs. So, £100,000. Zero, who's cost in the industry. Okay, this is what I'm trying to avoid with Zip. Yeah.
Oh my God, look, the fish shop. Oh.
And then, of course, it can lead to injury, the time, excuse me, I've seen injury these relatively minor. Kind of nice. I was going to say, so you didn't have the correct PPE on your place with overalls on, but it's up to you his overalls, even as colleague and the country goes, just from getting the high voltage share. Benefits of vacuum, the obvious. It allows you to excavate around surfaces and tree roots with minimal risk of damage. Ostrich is actually quite quicker than hunting. You get a lot of work with 7 drink water there, that's what comes in there around the tree, with a lot of studies into productivity. At the ground table, there's on average, what's else good for the right hand. Even though I'm thinking, zero can be stored in the actual excavator and track it away from some digger and someone's drive, track it away to a convenient location it's in, not blocking people's access. Uses the amount of time they have to be in the excavation. A lot of the problems we have, accidentally malfunction, the vacuum machines on the airlines, it's all tested. One group on less than 55, it allows for smaller excavation. Again, a lot of Doncaster Council for streamlining dispersion. We're literally just doing a 5 to 6 inch diameter hole, and a lot of folders. But before, with my shit, moving where we go around plants and songs, the factory as well. It's a job that we've been on, demonstration for life, that's one of the jobs down in Bedford and there. I was on the mini paper, and you see the mini paper after that job, that's actually now in Scotland, walk through the front. Very good distance to get in there, so the schools for sure.
back in there. That's one London, sort of Someone's house, but the access is very tight. It's also some outside there called the Rough area. It's struggling to do that. We've also got the train without blocking the road. The areas often really working next to the conditions. Usually go direct down what's popular doing that with the airlines. Inject compressed air into the ground. As the air goes into the ground, it expands and fragments down very quickly, so it's basically vacuum the air. And it doesn't damage the surfaces because it can only go into it permeable. So the surfaces just comes around. But you may make a more service that's slightly damage, you may make it worse, but we still never had a problem. This is a test.
Vac-Ex is so non-invasive that we buried a standard fluorescent light and used the lens to uncover it without breaking the fragile glass tube. Try doing that with a shovel.
This is a test with demonstration then very fluorescent strip light. And gently excavate that in our arms. We need the spirit. Pictures of the airlines. Pictures of the airlines as we manufacture going our vacuum units. We've got no sparking tip on them. Low pressure trigger. See, for each shield on there's a lot of compressed to kick out a lot of heat. And I need to get that off as you've done. We've got a hand guard to protect off the knuckles. Again, no problems with on vibration. The whole shaft of the tool is plastic and non-conductive. We had that tested by the National Grid, which was approved in 5,000 volts. That's the biggest standard. But before we were there, what's fundamental direction of the ground, that's what's happening in the right here, there was nice to go very vacuum there. It is almost equal ground, very cold. Because it's not permeable, the airlines just tend to push into the fragments. The best way to have happened today is with a water lamp. Object, you recommend no more than 2,500 psi, and have an oscillating tip on it. You can't pinpoint the jet onto the surface. Very effective. Makes up the longest and the battle of the stories and time. Problem about them is particularly, especially for demonstration. But just use it, the tips in the bungee bags, the one drains out the back, and I'll sit in the area, we might be on site. Smallest tube in the air back, so on the far side. On the machine, got information in terms of things technically. This was designed probably for substation work, so it's low height, compact size, gated substations, but then we were approached by explorers within smart meters, they used to get impairment, capital impairment, which is small modes, and we found out that. We now have a lot of interest from Kane and SDN, got the machines on trial. And the findings with confidence for a truck, we've got these gas and example trucks, they're great, they're really big ones, all good. Finding the ground, we've got a lot of jobs like one side of town and the other side of town,
It's just getting too expensive to mobilise the trucks around the area. And with the load of things I think that's a nice compliment that you've got small days and moving around all day, so more cost effective option.
This one's consumer cubic meter. Like all the tips quite easily. Easy towable. What's a ranger or a utility man? Two-man operation. You've got one operator using the airlines, another one vacuuming.
Prensentations. This machine actually works and essentially typically from by the low trailers. You need a compressor with it, so there's not a compressor mounted in the van. There's like a mobile compressor that you can turn around with the air.
develops a video called CMAT 2 worldwide with CMAT 1. It's one of them that is cubed. It's about 3.4 tons and 200 trailers. It's on the top end, it's still tied up. This one tips, but it doesn't doesn't ground. Put the hydraulics on there to lift that, but it was doing the looking, then not towing. There's our thing, it's quicker. The difference is in shows you get more than the ones.
as enforcement. Fencing on operation. Fencing on operation. Well, we hang it all cell, we pretty much operate the machine, training power facility in the dawn or in the site, or in the site. Training must do 6 operation, training must have 6 hours. Generally, it's manufacturers and organisations who gets it. And we can know the endpoint as well. Obviously, now versus the one. What people reinforcing with? What people reinforcing with? Also, in terms of the cost, responsibility of certain things in the actually our customers. And we have our annual meetings, we're looking for a venue, all the while it's going to use our list and we'll see if we can really parking. On anyone's involved in that sort of thing, you want a venue free of charge, yes, and then you have to know every time to see some machines. You also rest of the day. Questions?